Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm a little late. I'm a little late on the live, but we're here. It's a little late night live. Late night live. We got lost in the store. We didn't really get lost in the store. We just went to a lot of them. So we were out for a long time today. So welcome in. Welcome in. I was reading Idaho documents in the aisle of Home Depot tonight. I don't think anybody mind. It wasn't busy, so. Harlan said state appears to be pretty confident. Heck yeah, they do. Heck yeah, they do. Hey, Jan. Hey, my Jan. Wouldn't that be nice, DM? This trial this summer? Heck yeah, I'll be ready for that. I'm already ready. It's I already have the time slots at like 11:30 to I forget what time they'll be out at night, but I was doing the math in my head because there was a 3-hour time delay. So we have some news. We have some news. Used to be someone's childhood home, president of the university. I've watched a lot of theaters. Oh, wow. I don't know. I've never heard that. I think I've heard like something about someone. I don't know. I don't know if it was true, though. I know the people that own the house, they don't even live in the state, I believe. Merry Christmas, Deborah. Merry Christmas, Catherine. Merry Christmas, Jan. Merry Christmas, everybody. Is everyone ready for Christmas? Because I'm not. Hey, Kelly D. Hey, Bill. You're on an airplane heading to family vacation. Oh, somewhere. Hopefully somewhere warm. Because, is anybody else having really good weather this year for Christmas? Like 60 degrees? It's going to be 60 degrees in Ohio. 60 degrees. Hey, everybody. Just kind of seeing who's here. Hey, Reba. How's the marriage going? She just got married. I bet it's going well. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Doodlebug. Did I say that twice? I probably did. I'll probably say it again. Hey, Olivia. Welcome in, everybody. It's so good to see you guys. It's good to see everybody. Carolina Moon. Pickle Me Elmo Wist. No snow in Idaho? Wow. Los Angeles, nice weather. Oh, of course, yes. My boyfriend is from the area. He's from Los Angeles. Oh, right outside of Los Angeles, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous there. I mean, every day. The sun, you can't beat it. The lighting, you can't beat it. You can't take a bad picture there, it seems like. Because it's just the lighting just does wonders. It's been cold there. At least not snowing. Yeah, Harlow. Yeah. I don't mind if it's cold in the daytime if the sun is out. I'm a sun person. As long as I can like have that sun on me, it can be really cold. But when it's when it's really cold and there's no sun, and today is winter solstice, so it's like the shortest day of the year. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. So we will be continuing our Chelsea Grim coverage tomorrow. If nothing comes out that's like crazy, big, or we'll either do that tomorrow or the next day. But we'll be covering it'll be like a 3-part series, and there's some stuff in there that I didn't even read. I didn't even know before. So I'm excited to kind of bring that stuff to you guys. So it'll be nice. I didn't bring up my page yet. So how's everybody doing? If you guys don't mind, if you appreciate tonight's case coverage, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, but just make sure you like it first. Because, we want to make sure we have good likes. But no, just go ahead and smash the like button. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, we'd love to have you. We talk true crime here every night. Normally it's a little earlier than tonight, or, on a little later, but we were busy today. Vincent decided to buy everything that we needed for a house. Like, he was like, let's get a couch and a chair and he's like, did you like that table over there, that dining room table? And I'm like, huh? I'm almost in shock because we're just supposed to be looking, we're going in to look. He's at the counter with a quote. And I'm like, what's going on? So we're shopping for furniture, I guess. So that's why I'm a little late tonight, if you guys were wondering. And we got some flooring for the new studio. So there we go. Merry Christmas to me. It's going to be a good Christmas over here. Where's Aries? Aries, there you are. Here, Otto. I was going to say, where's Aries? Aries is always here. Okay, so let me find my notes here because I did take a little bit of notes. If you would like to become a member of our fabulous channel, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. We are streaming to extra platforms tonight. We are streaming to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, of course, that's our home. And I say Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of those. X, I'll get there. You know, I'm old. I call it Twitter still. But I figured we would go over tonight, like just kind of the new news that's going out in Idaho, and we'll just kind of go over the last week because it seems like it's been a lot. Yeah, snapback. I was like, it's easy to do on here, so I was like, I'll do it. Hey, Amanda. I figured maybe there'll be somebody out there that's like, oh, I haven't seen Tanya in a while. Wonder what she's doing. Oh, look at her. Look at her go. It's been a while since I've been on social media, really. So, but I did put a poll up at the beginning of the live. So if you want to, cast your vote, we'd love to know it. Let me make sure I still have that, like the poll on my side. Okay. And a lot, wow. I already have 54 votes and 87% of you guys say no. Wow. Wow. Y'all are speaking over here. You guys are like, for sure. Cindy said, I will call it Twitter, even though it's, now X. I know, I don't get it. Because now, like, the bird tweet, it doesn't make sense. Why did you do that? Why did you make it weird? You made it weird for me. Because, I'm thinking of that. So, oh, you can't see the poll? Can anyone else see it? It should be up at the top. I think that's where the polls are. No, it should be at the bottom, I think. I'm here, Aries. I'm here to give you some true crime. It's in my opinion, it triggers the family. To tear it down or to keep it up? To tear it down? I mean, that right after Christmas? That's in poor taste. Oh, well, then you can cast your vote here. I just put on the poll, let me see exactly what it says. It says, do you think they should demolish the King Road house? And it was just yes or no. So, that's the first thing that's kind of, that went out. So, I figured we would kind of go through the last week and just touch on everything that's kind of been going on, because I feel like over the last week, we've kind of had some stuff come out in Idaho, whether, it's families are talking or arguing or whatever, disagreeing. I wouldn't say arguing, but disagreeing. It's been, it's been a lot. So it's been a lot. Let me see here. So let me pull this page up for you. This one here. And we have some new documents. Well, one new document, but it says a whole lot in that new document. So we'll just kind of go in chronological order. So we'll start with the house being demolished. So on the 14th, we learned that the home where the 4 University of Idaho students were unalived last year was going to be demolished on December the 28th. We saw the Gonzalez family come out, and they had a big reaction to this, and they pretty much went on, I think, any news agency that would have them, they were talking about it. They wanted to have their voices heard, and they wanted to say they don't want this house to be demolished. In the beginning, I was all for this house being torn down. I was like, tear that thing down. That thing just needs to come down. It's ugly. It's asbestos filled. I still don't know how I feel about the house. I'm on the fence. I'm like, the asbestos gets me, but at the same time, they keep going back into the home. So it's like, well, if it's torn down, then we don't, you can't go back. But also they know this. I don't know why they're going back so many times, because investigators know you get one shot at a crime scene. Like, that's usually what they tell you, but they just keep going back in. Like, prosecution goes in, the defense goes in. And I feel like the defense kind of went in after the prosecution only because they went in, and they probably wanted to see maybe where they were marking or what they did. Maybe if they took anything out. Like, I would be curious if I was the defense team. I would be like, what was they doing in there? I want to know. I'm going to go in. And I mean, they did too. They went in. So if you guys missed that part of the week, which, I don't think anybody misses any Idaho news, but we'll read through this little article here. And I think I actually have this. I think I have a video for this. Oh, I think I do. Let me see. I thought I had these in order. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, we can watch this one. I'm going to read through this, though, for you guys and get us kind of caught up. I think this is a short one, yeah. The home where 4 University of Idaho students were fatally stabbed a little more than a year ago will be demolished later this month, the university said Thursday. Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez were killed in an off-campus home in November 2022. They were found dead November 13th, 2022. The university, located in the town of Moscow in western Idaho, in February announced plans to destroy the structure. I feel like we've been hearing about this for so long, I don't know. On Thursday, it said after defense lawyers for murder suspect Brian Kohlberger are able to take photographs and gather other information, demolition is expected to begin December 28th. It may take several days to completely clear the site. So they're going in 3 days after Christmas. I mean, you couldn't do this any other holiday. They said they wanted to do it when the students were out of class. I understand that completely. I do. But there's other breaks: spring break, Thanksgiving break, summer. Is there a summer break? I'm not sure. If you could take summer off if you need to, but you get my point. You don't have to do it during Christmas time. And if it's going to be this close to trial, just leave it up at this point. The only reason why you would tear it, the only reason why you would want to tear it down would be, in my logical thinking, is the asbestos part of it and the people that are going to gather there because that house is there and maybe do videos or TikToks or conjugate, just there, just to be near that site. That's the only thing I could think of. Yeah. Yeah, but they could have done last summer. You know what I mean? We've been waiting. I mean, this house has been sitting here for a year abandoned. They just been having a cop sit out there for a year. You know what I mean? That's expensive too. I'm sure. Which, I mean, I think it's $600 a day they were saying to have an officer sit out there. I'm where do I sign up? I'll sit in that little shack all day long. Yeah, it's been there this whole time. I think when they started digging stuff, breaking the walls apart, the asbestos rose up though. I think that's the problem. Maybe it's not dormant, because I went to a school. How hillbilly is this? No offense, the word, but I went to a country school, y'all, and they decided to build our school, our brand new school, right, while we were in the building, and our old building was over 100 years old. It was filled with asbestos, and they were just breaking down walls. We had trash cans in our hallway. I mean, I'm probably immune to it. I could probably go there. We could do a stream every day from the shack, Christina said. I would too. But yeah, I mean, it was I was what are you guys doing here? I mean, they were taping stuff up. It was just, I was who is putting this construction together? It was bad. I don't think we need to see the house to know he's guilty. Janet, not at all. I'm just wondering if they end up needing something out of it because they were there again today. It's well, why you keep going back there? I mean, that's what I don't understand. I don't understand what did you need? Did you forget your pencil? Did you forget what's so important that you had to go back and, go back in the house? I'm just curious to see what if they've gathered anything. That would be one to know. Let's see, where do I want to play this? Okay, actually, I'll play it now. So we did watch a little bit. We watched this. It was on Law and Crime, and I think it's called Crime Fix. It was an interview with the Gonzalez family. So I think that this is similar to that, but I'm not I mean, it is Crime Fix, but I think it's it's not the same episode, but it has to do with the demolition and stuff like that. It has bits and pieces of the interview with them in there from News Nation and then from Law and Crime. So I'll play this. Colleen said, as Steve said, better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Yeah, he's a smart guy. Look at his face. He's what is she going to say? I don't know. No, this face looks like, the face my dad would give my mom. What is she going to say next? Really, Julian? I didn't know that. Very first crime scene ever demolished prior to the trial. Wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, why they? I mean, I know it's an eyesore, but it's like, what? I mean, just leave it there. I mean, the cop don't even really need to stay there. I don't think. I don't think they've had anybody out there recently. I think they'd be okay. Oh yeah, and the technology is amazing. Oh, I'm not concerned about the further 3D scans at all. Like I know that those things are going to be top notch. I cannot wait to see them. I hope we get to see them. We better get to see them because I love that kind of stuff. I'm a visual person. And I want to see how they like figure it out. I just want to see that. I just want to see everything. But what I really want to see is opening statements because that's going to tell you. I was on the jury. I absolutely needed to walk through. Yeah, if you were on if you were on there, the house is very strange. I'll say that it's a strange build. It's a strange build. It really is. I mean, look how long it took us. If everyone's here, in the chat that has been here since last November, you guys all know everyone was trying to figure this house out. Everyone was like, okay, they like figured out the first level and they had Dylan on the first floor, Bethany at first, because that's what we thought. And then we were trying to figure out the second floor. I mean, people had it wrote down on napkins. Reddit users were like putting out sketches. It was insanity. And then we finally got a layout of the house. We finally went to Zillow. People got smart. But I'm going to play this here. If you guys don't mind, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you.
For the prosecution? Is this good for the case?
The family of Kaylee Gonsalves, one of the 4 University of Idaho students murdered in a house near campus more than a year ago, hoping beyond hope that the demolition of the house where Kaylee and her friends were murdered will be stopped. The University of Idaho says the house is coming down next week. I'm Anjanette Levy. It's Monday, and this is Crime Fix, Law and Crime's look at the top stories in the world of crime. The demolition of the house on King Road will begin on December 28th, 3 days after Christmas. The University of Idaho now owns that house where Maddie Mogan, Kelly Gonsalves, Xana Carnodal, and Ethan Chapin were murdered on November 13th, 2022. The school has been clear since the beginning that it planned to demolish the house, but that hasn't been sitting well with at least 2 of the victims' families.
When they're like, that house is gone, it is going to be very emotional for me. But that wasn't why the emotional side of things. It was strictly like, is this good for the prosecution? Is this good for the case?
Neither the prosecution nor Brian Kohberger's defense team have objected to the house being demolished. In fact, both sides signed off on the house being turned over to the school earlier this year. Kohberger is being held in the Latah County Jail, accused of the murders of those 4 students. He has maintained his innocence up until this point. The defense and the prosecution have been back to the house recently to take measurements for exhibits to be used at trial, so the jury will not be taken to the house because obviously the plan is to take it down. In a statement last week, the school's president said, "It is the grim reminder of the heinous act that took place there. While we appreciate the emotional connection some family members of the victims may have to this house, it is time for its removal and to allow the collective healing of our community to continue." Give the gift of whiskey this holiday season with the Whiskey Raiders Bottle of the Month Club. Each month, the experts...
I hate their dang commercials now. They're like the worst. I don't know. The Morgan and Morgan one they have now that she's talking about alcohol. But if you want whiskeyraiders.com, there you go. And someone tells Shannon Gray to get a comb. Someone buy that man a brush and a comb or a haircut. I mean, really. Is he working that hard that he's looking like this?
For an exclusive holiday discount on your purchase.
He must be working real hard.
Joining me to discuss the demolition of the King Road house is the attorney for Kaylee Gonsalves' parents, Shannon Gray. Shannon, thanks for coming on. I know that we had spoken before in the summer about how the family objected to the house being demolished before trial. That is now happening, despite the prosecution and the defense saying, "Yeah, we don't want the house anymore. We don't need it." But you guys still object to the house being knocked down before trial.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were under the understanding initially that they would just keep it. They stopped the demolition for some reason in the spring, or I guess it was in July. And we thought, well, if they found a good enough reason to stop it then why wouldn't they keep that reason and go all the way to trial? But, we got an email the other day from the University of Idaho, really kind of just took us back how quickly, we got an email on the 14th and the demo's scheduled for the 28th. So it's pretty shocking that they would send us such short notice, probably because they know that we're going to try to fight them on it. So
you said you're going to try to fight them on it. How are you going to try to do that?
Well, part of the issue with this is that, last time we just kind of voiced our opinion. Sometimes the public can help out. And when we put out a statement where we're saying, why not just leave it? What's wrong with just leaving it? And I think everyone in America understands that. Like, why not just leave the house where it is? If you don't need it, great, right? Then, the trial goes and you demo it after the trial. But what if, which has been the case in the last couple of months, people have needed to get back in there, right? And it would have been demolished. So these two opportunities that the defense and the prosecution have had the opportunity to do, if they had followed through with their plan, the University of Idaho, the house would already been demoed by then. So what would they have done then, right?
Did you all ask yet again? Did you ask the university yet again to halt their plan? I mean, obviously they've got a company hired to do this. They've sent out a map with where the media should be parking if they want to observe this. They want to get it done before the kids come back from winter break. They say because it'll be less disruptive that way. So have you said to them, hey, we're opposed to this?
Oh yeah, I mean, they've known we're opposed to it, and I sent them another email. They sent the email to us telling us about it, and I sent them a response email, a pretty harsh one. I thought it was a little premeditated, and I thought that the short notice was premeditated, and why would you do it around Christmas, right? The 28th. I mean, especially for the families. And I think the statement kind of says itself, the Gonzalez's family statement, where it talks about the house has evidentiary value, at least we believe it does. And then, there's an emotional attachment to the house. And so, a lot of those things should be taken into consideration, and the family feels like it's not. So the Coronado family, I've spoken with Jeff, and he feels the same way as the Gonzalez family. The Chapin family, obviously, I don't have any contact with them. So
Jeff Coronado, Xana's father, thinks it should stay until after the trial.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't really, the last time we spoke about this too, you said there really aren't any legal avenues that you can explore to halt this. It would be more of a public outcry type thing.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I think there could be some civil remedies that could be pursued, but what you'd be doing is fighting the University of Idaho. People don't understand that these families are families, and they don't have unlimited resources to pursue a legal battle against a giant like the University of Idaho that has legal counsel on staff all the time, right? So, a lot of people are limited by resources and what they're able to afford and what they're able to do. I mean, that's in the world in itself. People are limited by resources, So I think that, there could be some civil remedies out there, but I don't think the families have the resources to pursue those at this time. So,
this thing has slowed down, and things seem to have come to a halt a bit since Brian Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial. I mean, I think a speedy trial was very unrealistic given the magnitude of this case, the amount of evidence to go through, the fact that it's a death penalty case. Do you have a feeling for when it may actually go to trial? Do you think it will be later in 2024, or could we be looking beyond that?
Well, the families we've been in contact with, Latah County Prosecutor's Office, trying to figure out what the opinion is on a time frame on getting a trial date. And, the judge, they're understanding the judge has to make some decisions on some evidence and things like that before a trial date is scheduled. I don't think anybody knows when the judge is going to make those decisions. So I think it's frustrating for the family. It's absolutely frustrating for the family to not have a trial date. And then the University of Idaho go ahead and moving forward on this and giving us 2 weeks notice that they're going to demo a home that they've known we've fought them on for the last year. And so, it's frustrating. And, if you are, if you have any say, and you want to let the University of Idaho know how you feel, I would contact them and let them know. It's people's voices matter, and people's voices should matter, right? The victims' families' voices should matter. And it doesn't seem like they are. They're heard at all, so.
You're a defense attorney, and so you understand, a defendant's right to a fair trial, of course. This case is unique in that it for some reason, it's resonated so much with people on social media, and there's been so much crazy stuff that has taken place with this case, with the speculation and things like that. It just seems like everything in this case is filed under seal, nearly everything. How do you feel about that, given the fact that you're somebody who practices, you're a lawyer? How do you feel about all of this? Everything's filed under seal, an order. Oh, we're going to seal that order. We're going to seal this hearing.
Well, remember, I have a non-dissemination order, so I can't really even tell you how I feel. I mean,
That's right.
it's like, I can't. And, I, as a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney for, I've been in the criminal world for 20 some years. And, it's frustrating for the families because I explained to them how I think the process should run, and how things should be done in my 20 years of practicing. And so they have those expectations. And so, it's up to the court to decide and make those things. It's up to the prosecution and the defense to make the decisions as far as, presenting the case and defending the case. And one day, one day maybe I'll be able to really tell everybody how I feel, and what this process has been like, going through it with the families and the struggles that have gone on throughout. But it's not today. And I kind of just have to bite my tongue. So
it sounds like the family, the Gonsalveses, at least, you speak for them, there's still a level of frustration there.
I just don't know what they would need in that house. Like, if you're done with it and it's like, you don't want it, because they signed the papers. That was in the beginning, of the year. They were like, yeah, we don't want the house. Defense said they don't want the house. Prosecution's like, we don't need it. Defense, we don't need it. And then they were like, okay, you can go ahead and do whatever you want with it. They gave it to the school. But then all of a sudden, they pop back up and they go in the house. And it's like, wait a minute. Because, we all got to wait a minute, for a minute. Because, you haven't touched this house in a year. It's just been sitting there. So any DNA, and DNA lasts for a very long time, but it's been through different temperatures and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that makes it a difference. I'm sure it does. I went to school for criminal justice, but it's been about 10, 15 years, but I'm sure it does, so I don't know what they would be doing there. So then the prosecution leaves and then the defense goes in, and I kind of see why the defense goes in, because if I was the defense, I'm nosy. I would want to know what the prosecution was doing in there. Did they mark something? Were they measuring something? Were they marked it? Is there something I can go in and visually see that they took that I could be like, okay, this is what they're doing. And then all of a sudden the prosecution goes back in. I'm like, so is the defense going to go back in? Are they going to see who can beat each other to the punch? I don't know. They may. We'll have to see. We'll have to do a poll, who's the last one to go in. And then don't forget to vote on the poll that we have. I'll close the poll after we listen to this. So just 4 minutes.
I think there's a high level of frustration. Yeah. We don't know what's going on, right? There's motions that are filed. There are, hearings that are set. I go through all the hearings. I go through all the motions with the family, talk about those things, talk about the normal process of how things might work or should work. trial dates, scheduling orders, what evidence, alibi information, all of those things that have been an issue and topics in the past over the last 6 months, speedy trial issues, all of those things, and how I think and how, in my experience, the criminal justice system has worked. And so, since everything's under seal, we don't get any information. We don't have any information on the case. We don't get any additional facts. We don't get anything at all. And 99% of the time, if I want something or the family wants something, I have to reach out to the district attorney's office or the prosecutor's office. It's not them contacting us. Every once in a while they do, to give us a heads up on something that might be coming out in the media and but other than that, if I need anything at all, it's me being proactive and the family being proactive to contact them, to get information. And I think that's frustrating for them. I think they felt like there would be a much more open line of communication, with the Latah County Prosecutor's Office than there really is. So
they don't have a victim witness coordinator who reaches out on behalf of the.
We do. What's there to tell us? There's not. I mean, every once in a while, we'll get contact about a hearing, or things like that. But I can read the hearing; it's filed underneath the public notices. There's no additional information that we're getting in any way, in any sense. Other than maybe, like this, we'll get an email maybe the morning of, maybe a day before that they're going to go back into the house. And don't freak out. So, that's the kind of information we get, and, there was a hearing, if there were hearings, this is when the hearings are. Well, I know, because they're filed under the public notices and they're filed in the court case, and we can look those up. We don't get anything additional. So.
Interesting. Well, Shannon, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think it's just important for everyone to understand that the family feels it's very important for the demolition of that house to stop. And if you have any power, you can reach out and let the University of Idaho know what you think about it. I think that could be beneficial for the family, and it's just it's commonsensical, I think, to most of us. If you were to take a poll, that house should stay there. I think it's one of those things where it's a crime scene. It's a very large piece of evidence. Just the mere fact that it's there, and the location of the rooms, entry points, exit points, vantage points of witnesses that are in the case, and it's hard to recreate those things. It's hard to after the fact, when it's gone, here's a copy of the house. I don't know how that makes much sense, right? And it's really the victims' families that are most important here.
Right now, there are no indications the university plans to stop the demolition of the house on King Road. A company has been hired to take the house down, and we'll have that covered for you when it happens next week. That's it for Crime Fix on this.
Do you guys think that people will fight, like people will protest there, actually protest? And I did put the link for the video for Law and Crime, for that video we just watched. And I did put the link for the petition for the change.org. We signed it on our last live. I forgot to put it into this one. They have a lot more signatures. When we signed it, I think they had like a goal of like 500 signatures. And I was like, why is the goal so low? And they had like 460 some. Because I told everyone, I was like, go over there and maybe we can hit their goal tonight. Now they're at 3,636. So that's a lot. I mean, that's a good bump. I mean, this was like probably just 3 or 4 days ago. So hopefully more people will know. Yeah, they're blocking the area, Donald. But I'm wondering if people are still going to, like, I don't know, fit through there somehow. Like they're putting that little cul-de-sac, like they're setting that up for news crews. I would go. I mean, I live all the way in Ohio. I mean, I'm wearing an Ohio shirt, but I would go. I'd be out there with Brian Enton, freezing my butt off like him with his little blue coat. I think it was so small. I felt like last year he needed a bigger coat. It was freezing last year. It'll be so sad, KDP. I think that I'll be emotional, and it's not even my children. You're in Ohio too? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, Ohio people are awesome. We have a lot of people in the true crime community, actually, that's from Ohio too. Do I think Nancy will? That's a good question. I don't know if she'll be there. She was there. I mean, she went to the house. I mean, how she camped out. She set up her table and was like, we here, with her neon green gloves that I think her kid made her scout school or something, scout camp. But I'm pretty sure Brian Enton will be there. I'm pretty sure. And I didn't realize that the petition for the demolition, it's actually was started with like Kara Kernodle as well. So it looks like she's part of it. Now I don't know how they take down a house. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how that works. I know how to build a house. My family's builders. We don't tear it down. So I wonder how long it'll take to actually tear down the structure. I think that will probably not take as long as actually like cleaning it up. I feel like, you wouldn't doubt people would be protesting. Julie, me either. I mean, I really can see someone. I could see like even JLR out there, like yelling, "Don't do it!" Yelling at the house, because he likes to yell at people. Don't do it. Like a day to tear it down. Yeah, man, that's gonna be like right after Christmas, and I mean, so close to the anniversary of their deaths, and like, that's just, I don't know. I think there's a better time. There's a better time. So the next thing that happened this week, it seems like with Brian Kohlberger and the Idaho 4, let me pull this up, was the judge. So on the 18th, we had new documents that came out where the judge denied the motions to dismiss the indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, and also for an accurate jury instructions. So we read over those documents, and when we read over them, we're like, okay, we're that step closer to going to trial. And then the new documents that come out today are going to blow your mind if you haven't read them yet, because the state is ready pretty much to go to trial. They even have a venue picked. I mean, like anything that the defense has, like that's going to be like a question or a deterrent, the prosecution seems to have it in writing how they're going to handle all the situations that come forward. And I find that pretty amusing, actually. Mr. Thompson was like, we ain't messing around. We're ready. Actually, but we may have them. I bet they're amazing, Marianne. I hope that we could see them. I mean, I really hope we can, because I think they're going to have a fixed camera. And I'm thinking that it's probably either going to be panned towards like the witness, like the person that's on the stand, or if it's somebody that's on the stand where they don't want them to be seen, they'll have it panned somewhere else. But it's going to be like a straight shot. I don't think it's going to move around a lot, if that makes sense. But I'm really hoping. I want to see the technology. I want to see how they got. I want to see it all. They have to show us it all. We've all been waiting so long, Show it to us all. We're ready for it, Bill. We're ready. Is this the one that? Okay, yeah. So if you guys didn't get to hear about the document drop, I'm going to read this article and it'll explain everything. Sorry, I had to scroll up and down real fast. Dollar Sterling, you're from South Wales? Welcome in. Oh, Cheryl just said that. Cheryl, how'd you know? She knows everything. And if you guys want to ever see this timeline video here, it's really good. So I'm actually going to put this link in the chat as well. It's like a little timeline video of the night of the events. And it's a good one, I think. I think it's a good one. We've seen it before a few times on the channel. But it says the judge overseeing the capital murder trial for Brian Kohlberger, the man accused of unaliving 4 Idaho college students last fall, has denied both of his lawyers' attempts to toss out the charges against him. So remember, we were just hearing, they had went before the judge, and Jay Logston had given him that history lesson and from like the 1800s. And the judge pretty much was like, okay, I'm going to take all of your information and I'm going to read through it and I'm going to give you guys a response. So this was the response that we were waiting on, if he was going to deny or approve it, and he denied it. So in court documents filed Friday and posted to the docket Monday, Judge John C. Judge said while some of the defense's arguments were creative, they don't pass muster. In one of their 2 attempts to dismiss the indictment, Kohlberger's lawyers had argued that prosecution withheld evidence that might aid Kohlberger in defending himself and bias the grand jury. The parties had a closed hearing about the issue in October. And that was the court hearing that we didn't see the morning hearing, but we saw the afternoon hearing of. Now offering his opinion, the judge said the defense failed to successfully challenge the indictment on those grounds. Kohlberger was indicted by an impartial grand jury who had sufficient admissible evidence to find probable cause to believe Kohlberger committed the crimes alleged by the state. Further, the state did not engage in prosecutorial misconduct in presenting their case to the jury. In one of the 2 attempts to dismiss the indictment, Kohlberger's lawyers argued that the grand jury was given inaccurate instructions, that they used wrong standard of proof. The defense claimed with a lengthy excavation of previous cases that the standard of beyond a reasonable doubt should have been used rather than the lower threshold of probable cause. At a public hearing on this in October, the judge had already signaled that he would deny this particular request with a written opinion to follow. Now released, the judge said there is no dispute that the correct standard was used here, probable cause. The grand jury is not a trial jury. Its function is to screen whether or not there is sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. The arguments from the defense for a beyond a reasonable doubt standard for the grand jury were historically interesting and creative, judge said. But those arguments do not overturn Idaho courts and interpretation of the statute, case law, and criminal rules. Prosecutors alleged that in the early morning hours of November 13th, Kohlberger, a criminology PhD student at nearby Washington State University, broke into an off-campus home and stabbed 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Santa Coronado, and Kaylee Gonzalez. After a 6-week manhunt, police zeroed in on Kohlberger as a suspect, arresting him at the end of last December at his family's home in Pennsylvania. He was indicted in May and charged with 4 counts of first-degree and 1 count of burglary. At his arraignment, he declined to offer a plea, so the judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. And I will pass out when the dude when he has to form a full sentence, I'll be on the floor. You'll find me on the floor. Just come get me, never, because I'm going to be shocked. Kohlberger faced the death penalty if convicted. His lawyers said their client wasn't in the home where the homicides occurred and was driving around alone that night. In August, Kohlberger waived his right to a speedy trial, indefinitely delaying what was supposed to be an October 2nd trial date. That was going to be my birthday present. A new trial date has not been set, but we may be getting closer. Which is good. We need to get closer. Let's see. I was going to play one of these for us. Here in a minute. I'm going to check the poll. Let's go ahead and we'll close out the poll. It'll let me. Where's the chat? Let me refresh the page. You have to do it in a different one. Oh, wait, am I on the wrong one? Might be. Let's see. Do you have more than one? I don't know. Because we're streaming on different platforms, so I didn't know if I was in the right. There we go. Now I see it. Okay, so we have 132 votes. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Put your votes in now. Okay. We had a lot of people. A lot of people voted. 132 votes. Thank you guys so much for voting. I appreciate that so much. And it said, do you think they should demolish the King Road house? 89% of you said no. 10% yes. And it's never equals 100% on the poll. I don't know why. There's a ghost out there somewhere that we don't get their vote. But man, that was a good poll. We'll do another one here in a minute. Here in a moment, we'll do another one. So that brings us to today. In our journey with Brian Kohlberger and this Idaho house. Like, let me change the screen so you guys are not looking at that. So today I think I was at the store, and I was listening to like podcast and or live, sorry, podcast live, and they were like, Brian Kohlberger's team is back at the house. Or I'm sorry, the prosecution's back at the house. I'm sorry, prosecution. And I'm like, what? What are they doing there? You know, I was at Target. That's where I was. I was like, what is going on with life? So sure enough, yeah. So I was thinking in my head, you know, and this was like at 4:00. I was like, maybe we should do Idaho live. I was like, I don't know. And then Jan texted me and she's like, there's new Idaho documents. You're not going to believe this. And she was writing me. And I was like, what? So I'm in Home Depot and I'm like, I'm at Home Depot. I was trying to read on my phone. So I love when Jan tells me there's new documents. I think Jeff, hey Jeff, he said, I think the university should show that it stands behind its students, even on death in the situation by keeping the house up. Yeah. I don't see the point in really tearing. It's only going to really destroy these families' hearts. Like, I mean, I'm torn. Like, my heart is saying, leave it up, you know, because I don't know. I think it's more for, like, you know, it's like around Christmas. I don't know. I understand the house has like asbestos, but if they're still going back to the house, I don't understand. Why are you going back, Bill? Why are we going back? Someone tell me why we're going back, and then maybe I can make a decision, because I'm really on the fence with it. Mm-hmm. Why right after Christmas? Yeah, like 3 days after Christmas, they're already going to be grieving. But there's hope. There is hope. So we'll read through this, and then Ashley on News Nation did a couple like videos. Of course, she had something to say about this, and we'll go over those. But so yeah, it says prosecutors returned to King Road house crime scene where 4 University of Idaho students, were slain 1 week before demolition. It's literally, what is today? 21st? Wait, yeah, 21st. Yeah, it's literally 1 week. The prosecution team in the case against alleged murderer Brian Kohlberger was granted access Thursday to the house. And gruesome crime scene where 4 University of Idaho students were brutally stabbed to death last year. And we know their names: Ethan, Zaina, Maddie, and Kaylee. They were unalived in their off-campus residence referred to as the King Road House. Oh, is that what they call it? I don't know. I call it like Idaho 4 House, but I guess the King Road House, yeah. On November 13th. Prosecutors did not provide a specific reason for visiting the home, nor specific actions being taken while there, according to a statement from the university. I'm wondering if they got a picture, like a video of them going in. Don't look like it. I think there's actually there's a longer video down here. So they didn't give them any. They didn't even really give them any warning. They gave them like 3 weeks warning that this was even going to happen. This is all kind of redundant. You know what I mean? It's like repetitive, so I won't read all that part to you. But it says here that the demolition of the house, at the time of the unalivings, the home was being rented out by an individual to 3 of the 4 students unalived. The owner of the house gave the property to the University of Idaho the following spring. The university then made the decision to demolish the home to eliminate the grisly reminder of the unalivings that occurred there. Additionally, the University of Idaho plans to construct a memorial called Vandal Healing Garden and Memorial on campus in memory of the victims. And that'll be over by the Student Center. We don't know what they're doing with that property. They've never said. They never said what they're going to do with that property. They never said they're going to put a memorial up. They didn't say if they're going to make it into a parking garage, put a little, in and out there. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do there. Do you think that should be okay? Let me put that as a poll. Do you think the university should put the healing garden I guess that makes sense. I put, do you think the university should put the healing garden at the King Road House location? Like instead of at the school, you know? Like, I don't know. I just think that if you're going to have a healing garden, have it where it happened. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I agree with that, Kelly D. I think that I that's what pulls in my heart too. Cause Hunter has to literally, I say this all the time. Hunter has to look at that house. He's like, I mean, every time he looks at his bedroom, but even with that house gone, like it really took me, like, I really go into my feels, even with that house gone, it's anytime he looks in that direction, the memory is going to be there, and that's just really sad. It's just really sucks. Yeah, that's true though. Yeah, they could try to get pieces of the house. It's, I don't know. It's gonna be so weird. We did read the Gonzalez's statement of the house, but we will read it again. And then also, I think, Jeff Kernodle made a statement back on October 31st. So we'll read through what they said, in case you guys didn't get to hear it. And not the Kernodle, sorry, the Gonzalez family, they've made a couple statements. They've made one on their Facebook page. They made one through their attorney. They've made one through this statement. So that they're very vocal, very, very vocal. Let me put the petition back in the chat. If you guys want to go over, sign the petition. If you feel like, the house should stay up, there's a petition you can sign, and you can like donate or something if you'd like to do that or share it. So, let me put my glasses on. And thank you guys all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. I love this. I love it. So the Gonzalez family statement. That has been our question to the prosecution and the University of Idaho for the entire time the demo of the King Road has been an issue. But why is it even up for discussion? This is one of the most horrific crimes in the history of Idaho, and the University of Idaho wants to destroy one of the most critical pieces of evidence in the case. And it is also important to make note that there is now a demolition date before there is even a trial date set. This alone speaks volumes. Bill Thompson, were you listening to Mr. Goncalves? Was he listening to him maybe? It is obvious from the two recent visits to the house by both the prosecution and the defense that there is still evidentiary value in having the King Road house still standing. There may be additional discovery by either party that prompts one side or the other to go back to the scene of the crime. There always has been a dialogue about their 3D imaging, or they are building a model to replicate the home, etc. If you need any help on that, I did a really great video on 3D imaging, actually. I was proud of that live. It's in my playlist. It was like last year, like not last year, but it's going to be last year now, but it was the beginning of this year. First and foremost, what a waste of state money and resources. And secondly, nothing replaces the real thing. Jurors are notoriously unpredictable, and they tend to make decisions on a variety of facts and circumstances. It would be foolish of us to try and foresee what they will want or need to make a just verdict in this case. The family has stressed tirelessly to the prosecution and the University of Idaho the importance, evidentiary and emotionally, that the King Road house carries, but nobody seems to care enough. It's like screaming into a void. No one is listening, and everyone tells you how sorry they are for the decision, but the family's opinion isn't a priority. Victims' families have a voice and should be heard and listened to. And I agree. I agree with that, Man. I think that they don't want their voice to be silenced like they feel like their daughter's has been. Do you know what I mean? That's why they're so vocal. I just don't get it. Okay, so let's read the statement from Jeff. We don't hear from him. We've only heard from him, I think, 3 times. I was on the airplane when I watched the 48 Hours one episode because I was on a plane back from Red Eye from California. I was like, I can't wait till we get home to listen to this. I was like, pay for the internet. And him and his daughter, his lovely daughter, Jasmine, was on there. So his statement is, as the family has stressed from the beginning. Is this the same one? Same statement. Hold on. It's the same statement. Okay, so it's going to be the same because they have the same lawyer. I thought they were going to put two different statements out, but it doesn't. It looks like it's a little different, maybe. Yeah. So it says, okay, it's a little different. As the family has stressed from the beginning of this investigation, the King Road house is one of the most critical pieces of evidence in this case. So whoever wrote this, I swear that that's the same thing that they said up top. As the family has stressed, this has been our question. Okay, it just seemed like those like started out the same way, but they didn't. I'm sorry. So it says that it's one of the most critical pieces of evidence in this case. We are grateful that the University of Idaho listened to the family's concerns and delayed the demolition of the home. Isn't this the whole point of not destroying evidence? You may not know if you need it until later, or it may become more important once a jury hears evidence in a case. It is our understanding that the King Road residence will not be demolished until after the trial has concluded. On another note, it is important for families of victims to stay involved in the process and trust your gut when it comes to standing up for the victims in this case. Our voice has been loud and consistent and will stay that way for Kaylee, Xana, and all the victims until justice has been served. Your voice hasn't been loud, though. Attorney Gray must have wrote both of these, because we haven't really heard from Jeff Kernodle. That part should have been the loud and proud part should have been in Steve's, the Gonzalez families, and theirs, because we don't hear a lot from him. Nothing wrong with that. I would like to hear more about Xana, actually. I would love that. And then she says that, what he's charged with. Prosecutors allege lab results deemed Kohlberger a positive match to DNA found on a knife sheath at the scene located underneath Mogan and Gonzalez's bodies. Kohlberger, a former criminology student, and it just said Mogan's on the thing. It didn't say Gonzalez. Criminology student, Washington State University, was arrested in December. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the year. What we're going to do, end of year party or something. Kohlberger's arrest. That's what he was arrested at the end of the year. It's crazy. We should do an awards show for the end of the year, a funny one. I was thinking about that yesterday. A funny awards show. I don't know. I can't best freak out. But, I could probably get one of those, I don't know, just different things. I got to think more on it. I have to think, but I'm going to do it. I think it would be fun to do a end of the year thing. I want to do end of the year review too, but I thought it'd be cool to do an end of the year, awards thing. I think Bill said, Steve, hold my beer and watch this. I still think the house should stand. Oh my gosh. That's funny. I'll work on my acceptance speech. See, that'd be good. Kelly D, Isabel's been telling me I should do a bloopers video since I started the channel. She's like, she calls it out every time I mess up. She's so funny. She'll be like, blooper video, Tanya, and I'm like, someone's gonna make one day. Yankee Kyle, that's awesome. You can help with the award certificate. See, we could do that. That'd be cool. See, creepiest killer, creepiest mom. Yeah. And then we can even we could do the stuff that's in true crime, and then we can even do other creators or something too. Not mean, it's nice things or whatever. Just who streamed the most, or I don't know. One of those. Me too, Kelly. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you're just not living life right. You're really not. Really not. Okay, so this is going to be for this. This is the new document that came out. And then there's a couple little videos I can show you. Actually, let's do this one first, because this Banfield had something to say. She does. And it says, will Idaho house demolition free Brian Kohlberger? Most certainly not. But we'll play this through really quick, and then I'll read the new documents. You know what? There's good news, and it's happy, sad news. But I saw on Twitter today that Tylee, Ryan, Lori Vallow's, I don't even want to call her that. I don't want to call her daughter. I don't want to call her that. they are going to receive her remains back before Christmas. So I saw that on Kay Woodcock's Twitter today, and I just thought that was like really like it's it's finally like going to be like coming full circle for that family, and like I'm just so happy that they're able to have that be like right. It's not good news, you know what I mean? It is, but it is for them, like for their situation. That is something that's going to bring them comfort, and I saw that today, and I was like, that made me smile. It's just so heartbreaking what happened to them, and then but it's so. I mean, if it wasn't for the Woodcocks, I don't think Lori would be in jail right now, prison. I don't think so, but I wanted to tell you guys that, so I didn't forget. A little segue, Now back to Kohlberger. We're a little feel good, with a little not so feel good.
I'm joined now by Alan Bloom. He was Cynthia Summers' second attorney, the one who got her released, not the ineffective one.
Yeah, I think this is a parole guy.
Alan, I'm so glad that you're here tonight
An
because
attorney.
when Cheney Mason brought up the possibility of ineffective assistance of counsel if Kohlberger is convicted in the Idaho case, I immediately thought about you, and I wanted to get your thoughts. What do you think about that?
Did you say that the defense attorney in this case actually conceded the fact that they could destroy this crime scene?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're dealing on
100%.
very iffy grounds. Now you have a situation where counsel is not attempting to preserve it. There is no question in the world that what should be done in this circumstance is that counsel should request that the court preserve the crime scene. If the prosecution is going to push for its destruction or going to allow it, or if the court overrules that request and allows for the destruction of the crime scene. At that point, you can at least say that the defense has been denied one of its rights, its critical right to properly prepare for the case if, and this is a key thing, if some piece of evidence is found down the line that would have made a difference in the case. You mentioned Cynthia's case. In Cynthia's case, what we found was that the prosecution had not properly handled the lab work that was done, and they had tainted it. And yet we found a third batch of samples that had not been touched and were pristine. We were able to compare that to what the tainted evidence was that was presented in court. And we showed then that the evidence that was preserved showed that there was, as you said, no arsenic at all in his system. They would have to find that type of incredibly powerful evidence at the crime scene that wasn't available to the defense because it was torn down.
You know how this works. I mean, you're a master of the courtroom. You never know what's going to happen in a murder trial. Most defense attorneys I've spoken with, and prosecutors too, say there's always something that throws them for a loop when they actually get to the litigation phase. So I guess the point is, why would you agree to this? Why would you, as a defense attorney, agree to tear down that house, knowing something could happen during trial and you can't remedy it with the house still standing? And your job could be on the line, because if he decides to throw ineffective assistance of counsel out there, that's on your head.
Well, I'm not so much worried about the lawyer. If you want to know, I'm worried about the accused, the person who's charged with this crime, who didn't get a chance to present the evidence that should have been presented. Now, I'm not saying, well, I said that actually a little bit wrong. I said didn't get the chance. We don't know if there's something key inside that house or not. But you're absolutely right. Once they demolish the house, the crime scene is gone. There is no opportunity at that point to present something that might come up. And you also are right about something else. A murder trial evolves. It starts in one spot, and every case that I've done, and I've done hundreds of them, every case that I've done ends in a different spot. You can't predict exactly what's going to happen. And there is no way that this house shouldn't be attempted to be preserved so that it can be reviewed at some later point when that issue finally comes up. We don't know all the issues that will be presented at trial. The defendant doesn't know what's going to be important to it. We have a strong idea, but we don't know for sure. And you're not going to know, and you're never going to have a chance to check it out if this crime scene isn't preserved.
Alan, do you think it's possible, because there's a gag order in this case, so we really don't know a lot. We certainly don't know what the state has on Bryan Kohberger. We think it's a lot. What we do know is a lot. But Is it possible at this point that the state has, through discovery, shared with the defense attorney enough for them both to know we've got him dead to rights? This eventually is going to end up in a plea deal. Let the house come down. Let the community heal.
You
Is
mean
it
dead to
possible
rights
there's
to the
any
sense?
kind of discussion like that? Go ahead. Are you still there? Can you hear me?
You mean dead to rights to the sense that okay. You mean dead to rights to the sense that you're sure that somebody died from arsenic, and then you find out that he didn't die from arsenic and all? There is no
That's a good point.
such thing as dead to rights. There is no such thing as being certain in a case. It's entirely possible that there is an enormous amount of evidence in this case. I don't know one way or the other. I do know, though, that no case ends up where it began. There's always variations high and low with it. I do also know that preserving the third-party crime scene in this case is an essential thing that should and must be done. Whether the court's going to do it or not, then it's on the court. If you go to the court and you say, no, this evidence should be preserved, this should be preserved, because we don't know everything right now. I can send my investigator, my experts in there for a day or 24 hours now, but here we are in December. This trial is going to be a next number of months from now. We don't know what the issues are going to be presented. We don't know every one of those issues. And we should not remove the opportunity for my client to have a fair trial.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to cut her off before she did that. And I was trying to answer LJ's question or his statement. Yeah, how about put a police station right there? I actually said that on the a live. I said, why don't they? Because I had heard students say that they wanted. I heard like on an interview that students wanted a parking lot put there because that back parking lot, the apartments share that. It's really hard to get up there in the winter because it gets icy, I guess. And I thought, well, hey, that'd be a really good idea if they put like a walkway through there, because a lot of students walk through there and it's so dark. Like make it bright and then put in a campus phone, like campus police or whatever, like whether you can get like an emergency phone, make it something like that, make it something that's useful. You know what I mean? Like that you can use and you can, remember the victims as well. Hello, Lynn. Sorry. I don't know. At least I'd have to look that one. I'd have to look that one up. The Amityville house, yeah, still stands. That's true. And I mean, people go by it, but I mean, like that's like very few and far between. I don't really think they have people going there all the time. Have faces. I love that idea. Yeah, I thought it would be like a good thing for this. Because there's no they're so close to campus, but there's no campus. Like they're right there. You know what I mean? And if they're going to be people that are living right there in that area that go to the school, even if it's just right off of campus, just put a little campus phone there. Hey, Karma. Mm-hmm. You got that notification late? Oh, man. Why are they doing that to me? Why are y'all doing that to me? So let's read the new documents that came out, because that's the juicy stuff. Like I said, I was reading this at Home Depot. And my phone's huge. I mean, it's a big phone. It's the biggest phone I think you could buy. But I was like, man, I got to get home to read these documents again. So this is going to be from old Bill. He's coming in hot. If you guys haven't read these yet, you're in for a treat. Yeah, of course, Lydia. Yeah, you can ask me. Yeah, let me know. I'll give you my insight. And I'll try to keep my eye on the chat. Yeah, the house was kind of crappy anyway. When I built a more off-campus housing there, and a memorial park somewhere really nice. Yeah, like, and if you're gonna put the memorial park at the school, that's fine. Like that's cool, but like, I don't know, just seems like it's weird that it's not there. Like where it happened. I guess I don't want it to be like I don't think they should do anything like extravagant, but even just like something like 4 trees, 4 pillars, 4. Just something that that shows like growth or, can represent them. Thanks, LJ. I was like, I might have to look that up. I mean, I've used the term, I think, before, maybe when I was like young. So it says, comes now the state of Idaho by and through Latah County prosecuting attorney. So that's Bill. and Bill and his team, and respectfully moves the court for a scheduling order addressing without limitation the following. So he wants to, number one, scheduling a jury trial to run for approximately 6 weeks, including penalty phase. The state proposes that the court schedule trial for the summer of 2024. So they're ready for a trial date. They're asking for a trial date. I don't know, Lynn. I really don't. She said the conditions of the house is very toxic with lead and asbestos that people should not be exposed to. How would they be able to go inside the home? I agree. I agree with that. I don't think they would be able to go inside. I really don't. I think that they're going to have to really rely on this 3D imagery. I really do. My heart is just, I feel so bad for the families because I've said, the asbestos, I've said it all. I'm like, tear that thing down. My brain is like tearing down because it does have that. Plus, if you think about it, that house is not very big. It's not that big. And if you want to go in and let's say get acoustics for the house, everyone's like, the acoustics. You would have to take a jury in there at 4 a.m. with the furniture back in there, with the walls, with the floors back in there. Like there's just too much stuff you'd have to put back together. And then to try to bring in 12 to 16 jurors, because you have to bring in the alternates too. The judge, the prosecuting attorney, the defense team. I don't know if they would bring Brian Kohberger there, but that would be a lot of people in one area that you would just be shoving them in. That wouldn't be good. That would be, that I don't think it would even be a good walkthrough. Murdoch was a good walkthrough because it was outside. That's a good walkthrough. OJ house, big mansion walkthrough. I don't know. I just don't know how you would get all those people in there. But the house is so crazy constructed that I mean, they're going to have to really explain it to the jurors. If I didn't know anything about this case, I don't know if I would grasp it. I really don't know if I would grasp it because it took me a while to grasp it. They do. Is it on their YouTube page, Lynn? Because or is it the one that's online? Because we've had the virtual tour up here before. I've actually done the virtual tour for you guys on here before too. Yeah, his house was staged up or something with the bike in the front yard and stuff, and Buster's little something with Buster's name on it. At the Murdoch house, yeah, that house looked like it was staged, for sure. Because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we have pictures of that house because we had someone go to that house and take pictures for us. I should look at the pictures. That stuff's not in there. I don't know if I'm allowed to have the pictures. It's kind of private property, but I didn't go on the property. I'm not from there. So he also says here that they want to schedule a trial for the summer of 2024. Knock on wood, pray, to everybody that it happens because I'm ready for a trial. And that the trial dates avoid times when Moscow High School and our area universities are in session. As the court is aware, Moscow High School is directly adjacent to the courthouse premises, and already the significantly increased amount of media and other vehicles related to this case has strained available parking, as well as safety and convenience for pedestrians, including students. So she's saying we want to go to trial, and then if Anne tries to come back real quick and go, well, we need to change the venue. Nope, already thought of it. Well, we'll have it at the high school. In the gymnasium or something, I don't know where you'd even have that, but this could be a funky trial if they do. Oh, did they remove more drywall? That's crazy. It says here that the court is also aware that when the local universities are in session, it is not infrequent for the area lodging to become unavailable due to university-related activities such as sporting events, graduation, etc. Let me blow this up a little bit for you guys and myself. The state also requests that the court set a daily trial schedule of 8:30 a.m. to approximately 3 p.m. For a trial of this length, it is appropriate to afford jurors some amount of time to tend to their personal personal affairs. And I love that idea. Bill, why are there not more people like you? He's saying, let's set it this date, like every day they'll be in from 8:30 to or 8:30 to 3 instead of 8:30 to 5, where they can't go do anything after trial because everything's closed, or they can't go to a doctor's appointment or do regular life activities. I've never seen that before, and I love that idea. I love it. Let's see here. Where was that? Additionally, having more time in the afternoon allows for better preparation by the parties and allows for reasonable opportunities and time for the court and counsel to address any motions or other matters that routinely arise during the course of jury trials. In the state's experience, this type of daily trial schedule is typically appreciated by jurors as well as court staff and counsel. Number 2, deadlines for completion of discovery for both the state and defense. Number 3, deadlines for both parties to make expert disclosures pursuant to ICR 16B7 and C4. Number 4, deadlines for filing of pretrial motions and responses and replies thereto, including but not limited to motions in limine, motions relating to the death penalty, and any motion under ICR 12B. Number 5, deadlines for jury questionnaire proposals, deadlines for proposed jury instructions, deadlines for proposed witness pursuant to ICR 16B, C, and or 6 and CE or C3. I might have to look those up sometime just to see what the statutes are for, like, to be, for the jury instruction. Like, what are the jury instructions in Idaho? What is the, questionnaire proposals? Maybe we could look those up. Number 8, deadline for Rule 404B notices. Number 9, date for pretrial motions to be heard. Number 10, any other matters to facilitate the orderly progress of this trial case towards trial. The state notes that in this court's August 22nd, 2023 scheduling order, the court set a date certain for sentencing disclosures, including witnesses, exhibits, expert reports, and any other evidence. The state requests that the court allow the parties further opportunity to supplement their disclosures following receipt and review of the opposing parties' initial disclosures. So they want to add more in. See, is that what that's saying to you guys? Like, it says the state requests that the court allow the parties further opportunities to supplement their disclosures following receipt and review of the opposing parties' initial disclosures. So it looks like they got some stuff back and they're like, okay, well, we have some questions. So we want to maybe they reviewed it and then they want to put in another exhibit to add to it. The court's August 22nd, 2023 scheduling order also directed the submission of trial exhibits and names of witnesses. The state again requests that the court afford the parties the opportunity to supplement those responses after they had the opportunity to review and consider the initial submissions of other party. In its August 22nd, 2023 scheduling order, the court afforded the defendant an additional opportunity to provide notice of alibi in accordance with court rule and statute. The state submits that the defendant has already been afforded this opportunity, and the court heard argument on the motions relating to such. The state submits the opportunity for the defendant to disclose an alibi and notify the state of the same has passed and asks that the court not reopen this issue. Yeah, why would they? It would help in identifying dates and scheduling. The state would recommend that the court schedule a status conference on the record for the proposed of scheduling. And it was submitted today, the 21st. They're ready. They're just ready. They're ready to go. They really are. They're ready to go. I don't really know what I feel about the death penalty. I mean, you end a life for college kids while they're sleeping with a knife. I think that you deserve it. I mean, there's certain circumstances, but I guess that's why it's death penalty. Ooh, Jan, you make fudge? That sounds delicious. That sounds good. I miss the goodies that people make at Christmas. That's what I do miss. Like the the cookies and like I'm not a baker, but I'm gonna try. But like, like the peanut butter cookies, and then they had like the ones like the sugar cookies with like the little chocolate on top, the little Hershey Kiss. I don't know what they're called. Or like the hardtack candy, which I cannot have because obviously my teeth will just it'll break. But I like those candies. So my mom never made them, but like we had family members that did. My mom always made like pies. She was a pie person. He has no alibi. Yeah. His alibi. I mean, he should have just said he didn't know what he was doing. I think that would be better than driving around for 6 hours or more. I mean, she says he left on the 12th and he came back on 13th. And we know we saw him on, camera at 5:27, or he was picked up, So it's crazy to me that he thinks that alibi is going to fly. Like he's going to go into court and be like, I was just driving around. Okay, see you later. Do you want us to go ahead and fly you back to Pennsylvania, or you want to stay here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, surely Anne has something else up her sleeve. I just don't know what it is. Snickerdoodles, those are good too. Yes. And fudge. And peanut brittle. Yeah, I'm not a big peanut. Well, I don't mind it, but I'm not a big peanut brittle person. I feel like they've got something. Yeah. They're either bluffing and they're just like mad at Anne. Or you know what I mean? Or there's like something's up. Yeah. Oh, they're called Blossoms. Peanut butter cookie with a Hershey Kiss. Yeah. I got some peanut butter cookie mix yesterday because I saw them and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about those cookies. I love those cookies. I figured I'd make them. If not, Vincent will eat every single one of them because that guy he's a cookie monster. I think they have a lot more. That's why I am just really curious to hear the opening statements. I think if I hear the opening statements, I'll be good for a while. I would be good if they just tell me what they're going to say in opening statements. Just need some answers. You love peanut brittle? This is just kind of goes over this so we don't have to go over this. Yeah, it's just pretty much what we said. So what time? Oh, it's only 11. It's not that. I thought it was a little bit later. Look at that. We're doing floors this weekend. Vincent stayed home from work today and it was like a surprise. So surprise. He was like, I don't think I'm gonna go to work. I'm like, okay, sir, you have the power, I guess. I mean, but then I feel like I don't get as much done when he's here. I love him to death, and I'm so glad he was home because we haven't been able to hang out in so long. Because he works till 5:30, and then I get on. I literally, when he gets home, I leave and go do whatever shopping we need for the day, and it's always a Target run. It's always something. I don't know. We will always need something at the store. So I'll go over there. And then by the time I get back, and then I'm like, I just sit in here and get ready for the live. So, and then I do my live and then he's usually asleep. So it was nice. We went to some furniture stores today. We got I was like, what are we doing? I didn't even know we were buying furniture today. But I guess we're buying furniture. I have the old cookbook, the Betty Crocker orange one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That Betty Crocker from like the 70s, 80s, y'all. Yeah, I got that. And it has all my grandma's recipes and my mom's. And I need to look through it, but it's just so sad at the same time, But I should try something that they've made and make it for Vincent. I'm going to have to now that we're getting a dining room table. I'm like, what? Because we just usually set up at our bar, and eat. And then in our dining room, we have this little couch type thing. And then dog beds and stuff for the doggies. But yeah, I'm like, cool. Okay. I guess we gotta start making stuff. I don't know. It'll be nice though. It's going to be really homey. We've always had something going on in our apartments where it's never been other than for maybe a year where it was actually, we used the whole apartment. You know what I mean? So my studio is going to go over on the other side. And then this will be our bedroom after we redo some stuff. And then, yeah, we'll just be able to enjoy our living room and our dining room. The dressing recipe in there's the best. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna have to get that book out. I think it's out in the out in storage. It's probably at the bottom. I think it is. Getting formal, yeah. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. I know. We've never bought furniture to like, we've never went out and purchased like a full set. You know what I mean? It's always been like, like when we first moved here, it was my mom's couch. We had animals, you know, they would like to, scratch at things, you know, after years. So that got old. And then I, got something off of, we live right next to a military base. So this guy was like single guy and he's like, I've never used this stuff. Like I never really sat in it. I'm always at work. I'm leaving. Do you guys want to buy it? And we bought that. And it was really, really, really nice. I loved it. It was like a hunter green. I loved it. The dog chewed the pillow like the first night. And then just, it all went to hell from there in a handbasket. So now that they're older, then, you know, now we can buy stuff and they won't chew. So I'm going to put that on it. And the place that we went to, they have, if you spend $500, if you put $500 more, if you pay $500 more for 5 years, you get like free anything, like anything that goes wrong with your furniture. It's Ashley Furniture. They will pay for it. They'll come out and fix it, or they'll pay for it to be fixed, like bring a new one. With animals, we're like, shoot, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, it's very exciting. Biscuit recipe. Okay. I just put dressing recipe down. Oh, I like me some biscuits. I haven't went through it yet. I'm gonna have to go through it. I know that my grandma had like, I saw my grandma's old recipes. I saw my mom's handwriting in there and I'm like, ooh. Son will be making a strawberry shortcake truffle. My son and I will be making. I'm like, your son? I didn't see where he's putting it on. I was like, dang, Holly, that's shortcake truffle, snickerdoodles, and fudge. Oh, that sounds good. Vincent would eat it all. Oh, you all right, Cheryl? Love you, Cheryl. You got me. I'll be here. I'll be here for Christmas. I'm coming on. You bet your bottom dollar. I'll be here. Just in case someone needs me. I don't know. You never know. And if somebody does, we can come and hang out on the live and we'll, I don't know, eat pie or something. That's the one, Betty Crocker cookbook. That's the one, Lynn. That from the 70s, 80s, the orange one is the one I have. I don't even know how it's still together. It's probably, those things are probably worth something, aren't they? I would never sell it, but see, Kelly D said, well, then it's a date. Yeah. We're just going to stay here this year. Christmas. Let me tell y'all something. Just if you want some advice from me, don't stress out at Christmas. Don't. Y'all know, y'all do it every year. We all do it. I have 5 nieces and nephews, and I have a great niece now, and I love them so much. I think that they're the world. They're my world, like my world. But they're expensive. Kids are expensive nowadays. They really are. They're just, my nephew, he automatically $200 for shoes. No questions, don't ask. That's what he wants. And that's what he gets because he's such a good kid and I love him so much. But it's like, I would stress myself out because my brother, what he'll do, I love my brother so much, but he waits until last minute and he'll call you like the day before, like Christmas Eve. You coming tomorrow? And then you're like in a panic because you're like, well, I didn't know he was going to call. So then you're like rushing to get like everything. And then, I'm just like, I ain't going to do that this year. We are just going to take all the money that we would be spending and put it in to our home because this is where we've been for the last year. If we were there for the last year, then we would do it there. But no offense. I mean, I love family, but yeah, Christmas is stressful as F. Yeah. Ashley public period. I love you, Tony. I love them. I love my family, but it's too stressful to have to be doing that. So this year I'm putting my foot down. I'm trying to. My mom used to say, I'm going to tell him I'm not coming because he tells me too late. So this year for Thanksgiving, that's what I did. I said, I'm not coming. I love you so much, but I haven't seen my brother in a year. It's been a year and we live an hour apart. And Vincent's seen his brother in September and they live 4 time zones away. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So, it's fine. It's, when you get older, things happen, life happens. But I don't want to be stressed out. I want it to be a nice, joyous occasion. And this Christmas season's been super awesome. It's been really great. I got my new Christmas trees. Remember I got 3 of them, 4, 3. Yeah, there's 4. There's one in here. Yeah, 4 Christmas trees. We've done it big. See, Marianne, that's the other thing. Yeah, that's it. It's there's too many people and I don't even know who they are, half of them. I'm like, you know what I mean? Who are you? Like, because it's just like people and people. And it's like, I don't know how my brother does it. My brother is just like, he's an introvert. He's more introverted than me. And it's always noise and chaos, you know? And Vincent, poor Vincent, he doesn't mind it, but he'll be playing with my nephew from the time he gets out of the car till the time we put him back in the car. We have to like push him into the car. So for 8 hours or so, you know what I mean? He's just running. And so he doesn't get to enjoy like any adult time, you know, with us because he's just running and stuff. And it's crazy. So we're just going to stay home and, you know, chill out and hang out. Shoot, I might have a new couch by then. Maybe I'll be on my new couch. One more thing. I'm going to tell you all this before we leave. Have you guys heard of the new washer they have out? That's a washer dryer combo. It washes and dries your clothes within 2 hours. You don't have to move it. You stick it in. It has a smart soap dispenser that like puts the right amount of soap in. You've heard of it, Jan? We went and looked at them today. Vincent saw it before me. He heard of it. He said, "Do you know how much space this would give you?" I was like, "Do you know how much free time I would have? I do laundry every day." I read about it. They said they're really good, Lynn. They're like the future. I don't know. But can you imagine the space? Like you get so much room for activities. Best invention ever. Yes, Kelly D. I thought the steamer that they had in was the best invention ever, but no one's going to buy a steamer because like they're so big. It steamed like 8 clothes items at once. I own a boutique, so I wanted it. But washer dryer combo, it looks just like a washer, just a little taller, I think. It's cool. You don't even need a vent for the dryer. I don't know where it goes though. I don't know where that part goes. Grizzly got one and she loves it. She's so lucky. They're expensive. They're like $2,500. I'm going to try to get one for next Christmas. Wait, our anniversary is coming up. Ooh. 8 years. Do I ask for a washer dryer combo? And do you know how insane it would be to prepare? Yeah, it would be insane to prepare it. They'd have to, I don't think it's too much though, because like everything's just kind of combined. I don't know though. Like, what's going on, Aries? Probably recycles air. Yeah. I don't know. I just love it. I love the whole idea. My son told me I cannot cook sober myself. Oh, I cannot prep because I'll chop my finger off. He's doing this because of my eyes. I knew I was going to say that your eyesight. So he made reservations at my mother's. That's perfect, Roseanne. Take the time off. You're used to probably doing those things, and you're just not doing those things this year. Doesn't mean that you're not just as important. You're just there to eat. Enjoy that. Yeah, enjoy it. I would. Shoot, I'd enjoy that. And then just like make sure you're really needy, you know. But like I need more to drink. I need another plate. I'm just kidding. I know how it is. I know how that is. Same with me. I need a cooking thermometer. That's my biggest thing. I don't know if meat's cooked all the way. One came up on Amazon today. And I'm like, is this someone telling me? Yeah, electric and water. I think that it's electric. It's electric, yeah. Yeah, it was all electric. Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I was like, we're going to get one of these. I just need $2,400. Can I have $2,400 for a washer dryer combo? Totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. That would be, oh my lordy. Oh my gosh, that'd be insanity. Let me show you my washer and dryer. That'd be funny. But I am going to jump off of here. I'm going to go see what Vincent's doing. We're going to put flooring down tomorrow, so I'm super excited about that. Or we're going to paint and then put flooring down. I don't know. We bought the flooring, but we have to go back and pick it up. So it's going to be nice. And we have like the spot in our hallway that we're going to redo, and I'm going to love it. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that everyone is so pumped for Christmas and that you guys all have like most of your Christmas stuff done. And don't stress about Christmas. I'm just telling you, from somebody I'm not going to stress. I'm going to have all 4 of my little great grandkids here with my parents, my grandkids. It will be noisy than my dogs bark. See, that's the same thing with me. If we never have people over, our dogs would be like freaking out. 10 sisters, 5 brothers. My lordy, Kelly D. That's a lot. So my sister-in-law has 11 brothers and sisters, like siblings. That's crazy. Yeah. Have a good night, Jan. You stayed up late tonight. Thank you for staying up with us. I know you have to probably work tomorrow. I was like, man. And if you were here, I was like, she'll be fine. Because, I mean, you're here every single night. And you have to work in the morning. But it's like, it's a weird night. I keep thinking it's Friday. I'm off. So thank you guys all for being here, though, tonight. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. And maybe I'll show you. Maybe it'll do like a before and after on my room. Maybe we'll do that. It'll be kind of fun. Oh, you're off? Ooh, look at that. You can make your fudge. That's awesome. So's Vincent. So he's off and he's taking a vacation day tomorrow. He's like, I'm just going to take a vacation day tomorrow. So that way he has like Monday off and then he'll go back Tuesday. So it'll be nice. A little vacation for him. Because he usually takes the end of the year off. But this year he already took his vacation, his 2-3 weeks, whatever. So 4 weeks. I don't know how much he gets. So he didn't get to take it. But let me end the poll. I forgot to end the poll from earlier. So it was do you think the university should put a healing garden at the King Road, house? And it was 50-50. Oh my Lord. And it was actually, is it going to come up 50-50? It did. That's the first time I've done a poll and it came up 50. Like it actually came up 100%. It'll never happen again. Thank you so much, Liz, for the $4.99 super sticker. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to put that towards my washer. Hey, you guys did remember that one day I said something about like, this was like way back when, I don't know, about the fridge. Remember I got a little mini fridge? That thing went to crap on me like a couple weeks ago. I used that mini fridge for everything because I was like, oh, I need to get a mini fridge. I said it out loud and I forget. Someone sent like a super chat and they're like, for your fridge. I think Jan sent one and I literally went out and bought the fridge and I was like, look at my new fridge. And then it broke on me. I bought 2 of those now. So I'm not buying that brand anymore. I even used it for my skincare. It was great. I loved it. But so now I'm going to have to get me another little one for under here. So I just think it's funny. But thank you guys all for being here tonight. I appreciate it so, so, so much. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. I don't know if it broke. I think it's the fans don't last in them long, Mike. I think that's what it is. Like the fan. Might have even been you that sent me a super chat. So go get a fridge. Maybe it was Bill, either you or Bill Long, but I think it was one of the guys. But yeah, I think it was like the back, like the fan or something. So it's just less expensive just to go buy another little fridge. So I'm gonna get, I think like a like one upgrade, like an upgrade from that. So, but thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.